Hello all YouTubers, I am the Weather Dude. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you all for tuning back into this weather presentation for May 28th, 2020. Before I get on with today's video, however, I would ask that you please do subscribe because sadly, tons of my watch time has been coming from unsubscribed viewers. We are on our way to our next goal of 600 subscribers, and thank you guys so much, by the way, for 500 subscribers. Let's get to our next goal of 600 subscribers, alright? So please do subscribe, and also, this applies to every single one of you. Please watch the whole video as well as liking and sharing the video. Thank you. Now let's get on with today's video. So we're going to be talking about a potential big eastern cool down today, and you know it's late May, almost June. We're going to have a nice refreshing taste of spring, right in the middle of spring. We're going to have some April-like temperatures in the very beginning of June. All right, so let's talk about this. And it's going to be very nice. Some parts of the Northeast can get in the 60s for highs at it, and sunny, very pleasant conditions. So let's get right into it. All right, this is the time of year where you want colder than average temperatures. Now through the summer, cooler temperatures is always a welcome sign. Obviously, that won't be in the wintertime, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. This is what you're looking at as the NAO. And what happens is this cool air will be focused over the east for a couple days, possibly Sunday, Monday. All right, we'll start to see a cool down. Monday will probably be the coolest day for much of the eastern United States. If this North Atlantic oscillation, NAO, does drop lower, that means that the jet stream could plunge lower through the eastern United States and produce some more cold air for the eastern United States. And some of the spaghetti models do trend NAO down over the next few days. So we're going to have to watch that. If the NAO values do go lower, which this does show, if you take a look at this real quick. All right, so here's a 7-day forecast. Obviously, your mean is 0.2. That drops to 0.17 for the 10-day forecast and 0.1 for the 14-day forecast. So they're trailing. The models are forecasting the NAO to go down a little bit. And if that does, that means that cooler air can more sneak into the United States, eastern United States better. All right, and here's going to be like your little cooler air over the north and west, big ridge over the central part of the country, and a little dip in the east. All right, and we're talking about here, I mean, here's a climate prediction center, 33 to 40% chance, mid-Atlantic up to the northeast, even South Florida could even have a little patch of cooler air there for parts of Miami, Homestead. All right, so that is always a welcome sign, especially for Florida. That is always a welcome sign, so nice cooler air. And that's from the Climate Prediction Center from June 3rd to June 7th. Let's take a look at June 5th to June 11th. All right, because, usually the West and the East have very different weather patterns. So once those cold air chances start to strengthen over the Northwest, the East kind of loses the cold air a little bit. But potentially from New Jersey down through North Carolina, we could have a 33% chance of some cooler temperatures from June 5th to June 11th. But the warmer air is already starting to make a comeback. It's starting to grow, expand in size. Even coastal California can have some warm air, but that heat dome is going to eventually start to move to the east. But the east will have a big cool down, so let's enjoy it while we can still get it. All right, over the weekend into early next week. And here you go. Let's start here Sunday afternoon, and we're going to be showing the actual temperatures. Temperature anomalies, everything. All right, and you can see that we are looking at about 6 to 10 degrees potentially below average. All right, that's funny because the mountains down there in Mexico by the Rio Grande can get pretty cold. I mean, pretty below average temperatures, stronger anomalies than what like other parts of the country have. And you look at Sunday afternoon, I mean, we're talking about from the central and eastern part of the country having some pretty cold temperatures. All right, so let's go to 78 and check out this is Sunday afternoon, so at the high temperature for Sunday afternoon, and let's check it out. All right, and you can see, look at this, parts of the northern plains here in the 50s already, and this isn't even the worst of it yet. I mean, well, I should say the best of it because, who doesn't want cooler air in the near summertime? Because remember, meteorological winter does start in June 1st. Meteorological winter. I mean, I do like following the meteorological winter better. The meteorological summer, I meant to say, starts June 1st. And I just like to follow that one better because, honestly, I'm a meteorologist, but not only that, but because I feel like what happens is I get this feeling that sometimes, like on the first day of winter, it usually gets pretty cool where I am, and the first day of summer gets pretty hot. So I like to follow the meteorological winter, but it's only in a couple days, or summer, sorry. If I do that one more time. Meteorological summer is in a couple days, and the northeast could potentially be in the 50s, all right, as well. So some pretty cold air, and we're not even in the worst of it yet. And this is the GFS model, so let's take a look at Monday morning. All right, so Monday morning could get pretty cold. Cold air is starting to move towards the northeast. Now we're talking about more like 4 to 8 degrees below average. Oh, sorry, that's an air model. Obviously, it's not going to be like obviously bone chilling cold, like 30 degrees. We're not going to have an Arctic blast like we did earlier in the month, but it will certainly be a welcoming sight. All right, and take a look at this. Our low temperatures could drop into the 50s all the way down to Mississippi, Alabama. Even parts of the Northeast could see lows in the 40s. So some very, very cold air. All right, and just not used to what we're really seeing in May. You know, usually we get into the 50s, possibly 60s at night. All right, so let's take a look at those 500 millibar geopotential heights. Here it is Sunday, and here's kind of like your jet stream. Kind of goes up like this, takes another dive, rises over the central part of the country. There's your heat. Then it dips over the east, and there's your cold air coming into the northeast part of the United States according to the GFS model. All right, let's take a look at the GEM model now. All right, again, let's start with Sunday afternoon. All right, so that's Saturday. Here we go, Sunday. Not quite as anomalous as the GFS was. We got a little string of cold air again over the northern plains. Northeast looks pretty cold. The Rio Grande region down through Mexico looks pretty cold as well, so some pretty chilly air. All right, let's look at 78 hours out. And let's look at those actual temperatures. That's 84, sorry about that. And here we are. All right, so a little strand of 60s from Missouri out through South Dakota. The northeast, and there has to be a car alarm going off. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. Really? Anyway, the northeast sitting in the 50s here, and potentially some very cold air coming over the northeastern United States, and potentially a pretty decent Arctic plunge coming down. So we're going to have to watch and see how this cold air really sets in here. Yeah, apparently they're having this little social distancing birthday. So pardon if there's a car horn in the background, but getting back to it here, all right. So we do have some very cold air again coming into the northeast, 50s and 60s. So some very cold temperatures. And again, if we look at the geopotential heights from the GEM model here, again, kind of showing the same thing as the GFS did. You know, we have a little plunge in the jet stream over the northern Pacific, and a bigger plunge over the northeastern United States and down the mid-Atlantic. So it's cold air, but it's going to be very refreshing air. And I think it's going to be a welcome sight to many because some have been dealing with the heat. And I feel like April and May has just been, like, we've had more cold times in April and May than we've had all winter. So, I mean, it's welcoming. I'm not saying the temperatures were colder in April and May than they were during the winter, but we've had more, intense cold shots. And we look at the NAM model here. All right, again, so we're talking about 6, 8, 10 degrees below average for parts of the Northeast. All right, and down the Rio Grande, the mountains of northern Mexico there, we just got widespread cold air, and I think it's going to be a very refreshing sight for many. And if we look at the NAM on here, the actual temperatures, let's actually take a look here. Let's see. Yeah, Saturday morning, or actually, pardon me, Sunday morning, into Sunday afternoon, and you can take a look. 50s and 40s across the Northeast, 30s in the highest elevations of Mount Washington, New Hampshire here. All right, we do have some 50s across the northern plains, but that will be replaced by some heat later. All right, and finally, let's take a look at the European model. All right, and look at this. Look how impressive this is. All right, we have, by Sunday afternoon here, 25 degrees below average across eastern Canada there. And even 10, we got, 10, 12 degrees below average, and even 13 degrees below average down in the mountains of northern Mexico there. All right, and if we take a look at the surface temperatures finally, all right, let's take a look at Monday morning. All right, and 40s, 30s in the highest elevations of the Northeast, and it's going to be very cold. So I wouldn't say, get your heavy jackets or anything, but definitely want to put that, light sweat jacket on if you want to go for a nice socially distant jog in the morning on Monday. But I think it's going to be very cool, refreshing side. Go out, hit the golf course. It's going to be very pleasant weather, and it's going to be cool, and at least it won't be cool and wet like it always, is usually when it gets cold this time of year. It's going to be cool. We're going to be under the influence of high pressure. It's going to be nice and sunny. So I think it's going to be a welcome sight and a welcome feel as well. So thank you for watching this video. Again, sorry about the car horns. I am the Weather Dude, signing off. Until next time. Catch you guys next video.